Hi everybody, Brandon with Bearded CB82. Now, as a lot of you know, over this past year, I've been going to Harbor Freight off and on, buying some more tools for testing and evaluation here in the shop to kind of get an idea on what does and does not work for me, especially in this type of an environment. Hey everybody, Bearded CB82 here. So I was driving down towards the mall and you're not going to believe what I've seen. I'm gonna have to turn the camera around here real quick and show you guys because I might be tempted to stop in and well, if you guys know me, let me just show you real quick. What the heck is that thing? I mean, I had to show you guys. I don't know, I might have to go in and check it out because it's only like 15 minutes from where I live. So, well, must be some sort of new place. I've heard other people talk about this place, but I'm gonna have to go in and see what it's all about. Now, what some of you may not know is I've been purchasing off and on over the past decade a number of Harbor Freight tools. Now, some of them have wherein not worked out for me at all, which turned me off to Harbor Freight for quite some time, especially when you have maybe a 45-minute to an hour drive to the nearest Harbor Freight. And after, a month or so of spending the only day off each week that you would have, like say Sunday, driving 45 minutes to an hour there and then 45 minutes to an hour back, I saved a lot of gas money and by buying Snap-on tools. Now, top 5 Harbor Freight tools for me? Well, if it took me about a decade or so to get there, then obviously it could be worth the listen. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead, get the table turned around here and show you guys what I've got. So first up is an item that I thought it was actually so decent that I bought 2 sets of, probably around 8 years ago. Not so much for, say, working on, the Class 8 equipment that we have here in the shop, trailers, things of that nature, but for working on my own stuff. And that is the Harbor Freight 3-ton jack stands. Now at $20 a set with coupon or when they're on sale, these definitely work more than good enough for lighter automotive, home use, that this would probably be my number one thing from Harbor Freight. Now my second item, it's going to be right here, this little bitty kit. Yes, Pittsburgh Pro Line Edition. And these are the 3/4 inch shallow impacts that are made in Taiwan and chromoly, if you guys can see that. But for what you pay on these when they're on sale or with coupon, I want to say somewhere between $45 and $50. On average, they advertise for around the $60 mark. The shallows in particular, standard or metric, take your pick, maybe both, I think are worth the money. Unlike your deep impact sets, this is actually a more complete set. Granted, deep wells are a little bit larger. Maybe there's a couple dollars worth of material more there, but as far as getting, say, an 8-piece set, you get a 6-piece set. It's just a little bit food for thought. Only downside to Harbor Freight's 3/4 inch stuff, I will say, it's limited in sizing. Granted, 26 millimeter to 38 millimeter for a 3/4 inch impact, and they are heavy walled, is a pretty good lineup. However, guys like me, we like to see things up to 46 millimeter, 48 millimeter, or 2¼ inches. So sometimes you do have to do other shopping around. But as far as something that you can beat the heck out of and not have to worry about it so much beating up your tool because it's not chrome or chrome vanadium, let me refresh, or having the tool destroy on you because it is thicker walled and it's not made in China, it is made in Taiwan. This, I think, is a good selection or option if you're on a budget looking for some larger size tools. Now, number 3 on my list would be probably the Quinn sockets. Now, granted, these are not a complete set as they don't include the 18 millimeter, however 10 through 17 is where incomplete. It would be a better set if it did include 18. But for one thing, they are very clearly marked. Q air compressor. And there is more of a review to come on these as I've been testing them out. These are in my daily rotation for the time being. The 10, as you can obviously see, has seen some definite use. Same with the 13. But for what you're going to pay for, $10 with a coupon, I think this is a good set. And so far, I've had these since February. They've been holding up fairly well. Obviously, like I said, another review to come on these a little bit more in depth later on. And for my 4th item, a number of you guys know that I went ahead and I purchased the Drill Master heat gun. Now, for use in the shop, heat shrink, taking off decals, my own personal light duty use, for as little as I've kind of used this on where some body shops, for instance, would be using theirs on a daily basis, they might want something a little bit more heavy duty. For mild to maybe some moderate use, for the $9 I think I bought this for with a coupon, I had to add this in there too. Yes, I know. And now for my number 5 item. Now, as much as you guys have heard me talk about their smaller to larger female to male adapters and how much I do love these, I think I've spoken about these well enough to not even have to include these on this list. But, and yes, begrudgingly, 1/4-inch drive. Now, I'm still not a fan of the extremely non-positive switch. I don't care about the orientation if you break it down to whatever, but the switch is by no means positive. Tecton was able to figure it out with their version of these. So many other, even Stanley, that they're again made in Taiwan or China nowadays, used to be made in the USA, but even their lineup, you know, the stuff you find at Walmart, they've got a better switch than this. Now, the reason why I chose this was to how it withstood the will it break tests. And you have to hand it, those of you that did watch that video, I'll obviously put a link up here to that video. The fact that this took as much as maybe if not more to shell out than the 3/8 did, I've got to give it to this little guy for at least hanging in there that long. Now, as you guys might have seen, I've kind of skewed things up in this video because, you know, the top 5 Harbor Freight. Well, one guy that I personally know that did kind of set off a Harbor Freight video of his own. Now, that would be right here, none other than, you guessed it, MD Lee. Now, MD Lee, he's definitely a DIYer, and from his standpoint, I think a number of his tools for use at home and DIY, got to go check out that video, check out his channel if you haven't already, because his perspective for DIY or at home is probably better than mine because mine mostly rotates around shop. All right, folks, so there you have it. Kind of my little bitty rundown of things that have impressed me from Harbor Freight for the most part over the better part of a decade. Like I said, some tools, good to go for what I do, and other tools I've had issues with. Then again, that's the life of turning wrenches full time and doing this for fun. If you guys found this helpful, if you guys got any other questions about other brands, other stuff, other tools that I may have used, may have not used, may be looking into, by all means, leave a question in the comments section down below. Try to help you out as best I can if I have the answer. If not, I'm pretty sure I know somebody who might, and we can get you over to them to answer that question for you. And until next time, remember, shop safety is just as important as firearm safety. If you screw something up, somebody could die. Take care.